Make sure that you choose a space that's quiet, that's free from distraction, and look at the background to make sure that there's nothing cluttered or busy happening directly behind you that might distract your audience from the message that you're trying to deliver. The next thing that you want to consider is the lighting in the space. So the space I'm recording in right now, there's a nice wall of windows. It's giving me a nice, even, natural light, and it's going to give a good look without a lot of setup involved. You may not have a space like this where you're recording. You may not have a lot of windows, but even one good sized window or a couple windows on either side of you, just going to give you that nice even lighting. Another thing to mention about the use of natural light is you want to make sure that you are facing the windows and not with the windows behind you, because then you are going to be very underexposed and backlit, and it's not going to look very good. If you don't have natural light, you can certainly use artificial lighting. Try to use sources that are at about eye level. So a desk lamp is fine, a table lamp. Try to avoid using overhead lighting like the recessed lighting that we often have in offices or in homes. As you can see, it's not a very flattering type of lighting. It creates a lot of heavy shadows, especially around the eyes, so it's best to look for an alternative. You want to try to choose a space that probably is a little on the smaller side. And the reason why I say that is because for the acoustics, if you use a larger room, you're going to have a lot more sound bouncing around at a further distance and then coming back, creating reverb and echo. When you think about when you walk into a large hall or a church, it's very echoey, and it's because of the sound bouncing around in that large space. So try to choose a smaller room. This room actually is a little larger than I might recommend, but the thing that's working in here for me for audio quality is there are a lot of soft surfaces. So the upholstered furniture, the carpeting on the floor, draperies or fabric blinds can help absorb some of that sound, give you nice clean audio, and that's going to allow your audience to focus on your message. And that brings me to my final tip, which has to do with camera placement. So you want to sit about 2 to 3 feet from your device. And just a good rule of thumb is if you can reach out and just about touch your device, that's about the right distance. And that's going to give you good audio quality because you're sitting closer to the built-in microphone on your device, in this case, a mobile phone. And it's also going to give you about the right framing. So in terms of framing, you don't want to have too much headroom above your head. So you notice the way I have the shot set up. And the other really important thing is making sure to set up your device at eye level. So often we'll set up a laptop on a desk or on a table. It's shooting up at us from a low angle. It's not going to be a very flattering angle, and you're just going to end up with a lot of ceiling behind you as opposed to a nice looking backdrop. So in this case, all I've done is I've just set up a stack of books and I've propped up my phone, and you can do the same thing with a laptop or any mobile device. And that's going to give a nice flattering angle, and it's going to be more comfortable for you to shoot and look directly into the camera. And that's another really important point, is making sure that you're looking into the camera throughout your recording. It's often tempting to look off camera at our screen, and you can see when I do that, it appears that I'm looking off camera to the audience that's watching. So the camera in this case is right on the left side of the screen because I have my phone set on its side. In the case of a tablet, it's going to be very similar. In the case of a desktop or laptop computer, it's usually in the center of the screen, above the screen. The last thing that I'll mention is you'll notice that I'm recording this video in the horizontal format, and I know that many of us are used to holding our phone in a vertical orientation, and it's often fine to record a video that way if you're uploading it to certain social platforms or mobile platforms, but it's not going to work for everything. And you can always crop a horizontal video to vertical if you absolutely need to later. But I would suggest to record your videos in horizontal format, and that way you can make that decision after the fact.
Lights for glasses wearers. I'm glad this came up actually. Let me say first that it's not about the type of lights as much as the position of them. It doesn't matter whether you're using a ring light, an LED panel, a big softbox, or even a window. If it's in front of you, it's gonna get seen in your glasses. So what's the solution? Number one, move the lights to the side. Now I'm demonstrating with 3 lights here, so when I turn this middle light off, let's see what happens. Problem solved. And not only to the sides, but actually raising these as well. We'll just try to get them out of the reflection zone, if you like, of your glasses.
Before you record your next video on your cell phone, consider that you have two different cameras on your cell phone, two options for you to choose from.
You have the front-facing camera that most people use when they take a selfie, and you have the rear-facing camera that is the traditional camera.
What's the main difference between the cameras?
The resolution for your images and your video is higher with the rear-facing camera. So you can record on the front if you want, so you can see yourself. But if for the best video possible, use the rear-facing camera.
It's amazing the difference that a clean lens can make. So try and find a lens cloth, give it a rub, and you'll notice the difference.